Hello guys, I am UnstableVoltage and this is Star Trek. The new Star Trek game by Digital Extremes and published by Namco Bandai. And I saw this on the Steam store about a month ago. And I'm a Star Trek fan, I'll admit that, and I like the new Star Trek. I like the J.J. Abrams movie. I haven't seen the newest one yet, so don't worry, there isn't going to be any spoilers from me on that. I don't know how much this game actually ties in with the movies at all. I guess we'll find out. Now, this originally was going to be a Let's Play for my channel, and to be honest, it probably still will be. However, I figure it is my duty, being one of the first people to get my hands on this, to let you guys actually see what it's like, because in all honesty, there have been so many movie tie-in games that I have bought and been absolutely disappointed with them. Now, I haven't really played this game. I've literally installed it, started it up, configured the settings, what few of them there are, and that is pretty much it. I've played like the first 30 seconds of the game and then I instantly quit. That was it. So what you are seeing from me is completely blind. Now this first video, whether this turns into a Let's Play or not, this first video is going to be a bit of a longer one because it's going to be a first impressions as well. And I'm going to give my honest opinion. If it's terrible, I'm going to say so. If I enjoy it, I'm going to say so. But just remember, I'm not bashing Star Trek. I am a Star Trek fan. But it's movie tie-in shovelware that annoys me. So the first thing I want to have a quick look at, we're just going to go into the options. Now this clearly is a console port. You can use the mouse in the options, but this sort of page up and page down thing to move between the tabs, I mean the mouse does work, but it is still very much made for the console. As we can see here, the amount of options we have for the graphics setup is ridiculously Spartan. We have obviously full screen mode, which is great. We have a range of resolutions, but apart from that you've got VSync, shadow quality and texture quality. That is pretty much it as far as the options go. Sounds, again, fairly straightforward. What have we got here? Let's have a look at this. Tutorials on. I'll turn the subtitles on for your benefit. Difficulty, game type. I mean, you can play this online. I'm not going to be looking at the online side of it because, to be quite honest, I do not care. I'm an antisocial person and I play these sort of games for the single player experience. I don't want random people dropping into the middle of my game and derping around. So I'm going to be doing it purely offline. And downloadable content, well, I've got the Officer's Pack for the pre-order. So one thing that did jump out at me is the key bindings. Now it is great because you can rebind the keys, but if you actually look in the manual that you get with the game, or even from the Steam store, their PDF version of the manual as well, the controls in the manual are different to the controls to the default key bindings in the game, and some of them are just strange. I have changed a few around. I mean, for instance, default key bindings, tricorder is set to left shift and sprinting is set to F, which is a really strange way of doing things. Try to hold down F while you're running and turning. I mean, I haven't evolved to grow 8 fingers on my left hand yet, but I'm not sure how that's supposed to work. So I've changed that one around because it seems to make more sense. I've left everything else how it is, but we'll see how that goes. So, like I said, this is blind, and it's also going to be a first impression, so I'm going to be brutally honest here with this game. So let's go straight into new game. Yeah, well, 30 seconds, how many upgrades did I get? Yes, start a new game. Right. Very console-y. So, medium. One thing that has jumped out at me so far, which is a pro point, and it always is for anything that's a movie tie-in, it does have the original voice actors from the movie. So you've got Zachary Quinto, you've got Chris Pine, Carl Urban, pretty much everybody that's in the movie does their voices for the main characters in the game. And the music as well is pretty faithful to the movie. So who am I going to choose? Well, I'm going to go for Spock because I've always liked Spock as a character anyway. Right, now one thing I am just very quickly going to do before I even get started, and this, I'm not going to blame this on the game, this is probably more due to the fact that I am frapsing this as I go. I'm going to go into the options, I'm going to go into video, and I'm going to turn VSync on. There we go. So hopefully that's still recording fine. So VSync isn't really something that I usually have to have on in games, but I think sometimes when you're frapsing, it limits the frame rate to 30, and that causes a bit of screen tear. So yeah, that already looks a lot better. There's no point me running the game above 30 frames a second anyway, because I'm only recording at 30 frames a second. Right, so we'll go with Spock. Choose game type, offline. So even though you already specify that in the options, you still have to mess around and change it again afterwards.
Their numbers are overwhelming. Surrender may be our only option. No!
So I know we've got this cover mechanic, and right mouse button pops up and left mouse button fires, which is fairly straightforward. I'm not the best shot in the world. If you've seen me play Tomb Raider, you'll know exactly why. Although considering the amount of planet side I play, you'd think I'd be slightly better. So our targets here take cover as well. And that appears to be some sort of scripted event. Now this is literally as far as I got the first time I launched this game, so beyond this point I haven't seen any further. So the characters, I mean, you can see the faces, you can tell who they're meant to be, but they don't look particularly high fidelity, even though I've got the texture set to high. Very interesting.
It is your move, Captain.
I'm aware of that, Mr. Spock. Damn it!
Your choice was valid, Captain, but highly predictable.
Predictable? Since when have I ever been predictable?
That is precisely why the move was predictable, Captain.
Captain, we have received an emergency signal from a nearby space station. Please report to the bridge at once.
Shall we finish the game later, or do you concede defeat?
You should know me better than that by now, Spock. I never concede.
Well, despite being a massive Star Trek fan over the years, I've still never managed to work out the rules of 3D chess, so... But, yeah, fixing the board definitely seems like a valid option. At least it seems to have some of the same tongue-in-cheek humour that we saw in the original movie. Now, I am comparing this to the movie, to the current sort of incarnation of Star Trek, not the, you know, all the original stuff. Just having a look there, because the lighting seemed to be changing, but it might have been a dynamic light source behind me. So, right, we can move around. That's fairly standard. I didn't see any option to adjust the mouse sensitivity, which is a little weird, particularly in a third-person shooter. I didn't see them in the options. Moving around seems a little janky. Okay, now we're running.
Phase oscillation.
And again, just look at the textures on the floor. If we look directly down at it, this seems quite dull. It's almost like a matte finish. And then if we angle the camera up even slightly, it goes all sort of glossy and wet, which is a very strange effect. Okay, hold F to equip your tricorder. Tricorder? Use your words. Okay, so we have to hold it down. And we can hold Q to move Kirk. So we need to go through this door here. So that's what is used as our sort of waypoint indicator.
I will follow your lead, Captain.
Right, so am I telling him to go through there? No, you won't go, so maybe we have to go around. Let's keep going. What happens if we scan random people? Not a lot. Okay. Is this where we're going? Ah, the bridge. This is probably where we should be going.
The radiation from those binary stars is making communications difficult. but the station appears to be in some sort of distress.
Check off readings.
They're operating on emergency power and are struggling to maintain altitude.
And so the altitude?
Unknown, sir.
Captain, they have issued a request for immediate evacuation.
Then let's help them out. Mr. Scott, prepare transporters.
I wouldn't recommend it, sir. Those stars are giving off too much interference. Unless we achieve manual lock, we might fry those little guys.
Simon
We'll
Pegg.
get them out the old-fashioned way. Prepare my shuttle, meet me in the bay.
Aye, aye, sir.
Captain, in spite of your seemingly endless desire to stretch your legs, I must remind you that you are still a Starfleet captain. This is clearly a job that Mr. Scott and a few ensigns could handle.
But then I miss all the fun.
Sir, the more prudent choice would be to stay on the Enterprise and wait for a response to our hails.
Oh, you're right. Lieutenant Uhura, any response to our hails?
None, sir.
No, looks like I'm going.
Not too sure what's going on with the lip sync here, other than there doesn't appear to be a great deal of it. Okay, so we're going to the shuttle bay, are we? Use the turbo lift. Got to wait for
Captain,
Kirk to
I
get
must
in.
insist.
You insist? You know what, Mr. Spock? A change of scenery might do you some good.
Captain?
You come with me.
So,
Your
this
shuttle's
can
ready,
be...
Captain. But do you think it's wise to go yourself?
Shut up,
I'm
Scotty.
sure me and some recruits could handle this.
Don't worry, Scotty. We'll be fine.
All
This
that
can
makes
be
me
played
nervous.
as a cooperative game, but when you're playing single player offline like I am now, the other guy is always controlled by the AI, so we'll see how derpy the AI is as we go. Can we talk to any people? Ah, we can.
Mr. Scott, is there no way to transport survivors off that vessel?
I like to think that nothing is impossible, Commander. But with that much interference out there, I wouldn't recommend it. Stupid place to park a space station, if you ask me.
Also like how we can't even be bothered to look directly at each other when we talk to each other. And also, what's
Hey,
this
which
deal with
one of you
having
left
to...
this phase generator running? Someone could get killed.
what's the deal with having
Mr.
to
Scott,
hold the key
Is
to
there
speak
no
to
way to
someone?
transport survivors off that vessel?
I like to think
very
that nothing
strange
is
thing.
impossible, Commander.
Okay,
But
so
with
let's
that
leave
much
him to it and
interference
carry
out
on.
there,
Let's
I
see
wouldn't
if we
recommend
can
it.
get to some of the
Stupid place
in-game
to park a
action,
space station, if you ask me.
if there is any.
Spock, get suited up.
There's an old English saying, all fur coat and no knickers. And that's pretty much what these movie tie-in games usually end up being. They usually look very pretty. They usually look and sound like the movie and give you a good feeling of the movie. But when it comes to the actual substance of it, to the actual gameplay, that's usually where you find they're lacking a bit.
Fried by those 2 stars by now. What the hell are they doing out there?
Captain, the station appears to be outfitted with solar collectors, but they are unlike any I have ever encountered.
Mr. Sulu, do you have any clue what an experimental power station would be doing out here in the middle of nowhere?
Negative, Captain. Whatever they're doing, Starfleet doesn't have any record of it. Preparing for final approach.
Now, like I said, I don't know if this actually ties in with the movies in any way. Certainly doesn't seem to tie in with the first
Mr. Sulu,
movie.
I don't think we plan on staying on that thing for too long.
Aye, Captain.
From what I understand, and I could be incorrect, this game actually takes place between the first and second movies, or shortly after the first movie anyway, so... I think it's just coincidental that it's been launched around the same time that the second movie has come out in the cinemas. So, we can... Well, I don't know what I just managed to sprint into there, but it hurt. So let's get the tricorder out. We've got to go through there, fine. To be fair,
Radiation scan commencing. Please step forward for decontamination.
sprinting doesn't seem to make me go any faster than normal running, so... Okay, so very pretty light effect.
Officer, where is the captain of this station?
This way. You must hurry.
Yeah, well, that's him gone.
Damn it! Is this the fun you were afraid you were going to miss, Captain?
Well, we're not going that way, are we?
Right. We need to get everyone out of here right away.
So I can jump.
Captain, we must find an alternate route.
Well, it says jump. It's like a little skip. So we can jump over these boxes, that's fine. So I can't actually pull my weapon out. Tight spaces, press and hold E when next to event to enter it. And yeah, I'm still confused by this holding of a key to do something. And I'm wondering if that's a bit of a spillover from the consoles as well. So.
Captain, we're picking up some strange readings. There appears to be some sort of anomaly.
kind of have our hands full. Anything we need to worry about right now?
The readings are off the charts, sir, but I don't think so.
Well, just keep an eye on it, Mr. Chekhov.
Aye, aye, sir.
Tap left control to drop from ledges. Okay. Oh, well, controls seem fairly straightforward. Hold E to pry open. Well, at least it's better than the, Oh no, I was going to say at least it's better than Tomb Raider where you have to mash the key to pry it open, but no, you still have to as soon as your partner gets there. And now he's standing in the way and I can't get through the door. There we go. So the AI does seem to run around a little bit and do its own thing, but at least it seems to run over to you when you need it. Okay, so tricorder interaction. Hold F, target the keypad with your tricorder and hold E to unlock it, or command your partner to unlock it by holding Q. So that's quite interesting. So let's give that a go. So I can hack it myself, or if I hold Q, I should tell Kirk to go and do it. And he does. Okay, tricorder highlights wires that connect distant objects together. Follow the wires from the door to find the console that powers it. Okay.
I am in your debt.
Still a bit of a clanky button.
Please proceed to the shuttle bay for immediate evacuation.
So hack it myself.
Captain,
right, so there is a
I
mini
must
game.
mention that many of these crew members appear to be Vulcan.
Your point.
With fewer than 10,000 Vulcans remaining, I question the logic of placing them on any type of experimental power station.
I question putting anybody on this thing, Mr.
Right,
Spock.
what exactly am I supposed to be doing here?
Agreed, sir.
Doesn't actually appear to be giving me any indication to what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm running out of time. Let me just hit space and see what happens. No. So, any indication as to how we hack these? You've put a mini game in, but you've failed to actually tell me how I need to hack it. So what have I got to do? Find two signals that are the same. Left clicking and right clicking doesn't seem to do anything to them. Oh, I see. Is it this one at the bottom? Completely confused by that, and I'm losing a lot of health. Give it one more go, because that is just a strange thing. So I'm looking down at the bottom there. Oh, I see. I can move the mouse as well. So I've got to find two signals the same. I get it. Now it makes sense. They the same? Yeah. So I have to left click the mouse and spacebar to find two matching signals. There we go. I mean, admittedly, I can just get Kirk to hack them all the time, but I wanted to find out how to do it. So, but yeah, I do hate game mechanics that aren't properly explained. I guess we can now get through the door. Again, very much seems like a mini-game that's designed for a console with dual analog sticks in mind. Okay, so... well, I'm not going that way, am I? Right, can I get up any higher? No.
I need to shut down that laser.
Right, use tricorder to deactivate robotic arm. So I can deactivate it, or I can get Kirk to deactivate it. Well, let's have a look and see how... oh, so we deactivate it as easy as that. Fair enough. Are we going up, or are we going across still? Difficult to say. Oh, we're going up. Fine.
Captain, the anomaly and the failure of this station are most assuredly connected.
One catastrophe at a time, Mr. Spock.
So sometimes to do something as simple as opening a door, you've got the most pointless minigame ever that you can just get your partner to do for you. And then when it comes to something like shutting down a laser that's hampering your progress, you can get rid of it just by pointing your tricorder at it and hitting a button. Right, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we've got to get up there apparently. Let's have a look around. Got a door over there which we can't get to. Just trying to see where I'm supposed to be going. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Right, what am I supposed to be doing here, Spock? I must say the controls don't seem very intuitive. I keep struggling to find the right key. Right, what is that? Can we shut it down? It doesn't look like we can, whatever it is. Can't get through this door anymore. Ah, we can't get up there. Didn't look like I could. Looks like we can't get through there. So what are we supposed to do about that? Interesting.
Climb up there.
Now I don't know how I just randomly spotted that, because all I was doing was just kind of moving around with the tricorder, and obviously I can now see that there are some ledges that we can shimmy around on. But yeah, very strange how you just end up getting to a point where you have to sort of stand there and just hold the tricorder down and move around to find something. A little bit weird. So, well, Kirk is following. So if I hold E and he just magically appears at the side of me, he's just teleported there, interestingly enough.
That doesn't sound good.
Captain, I would not advise stepping into that scanner.
No other way around, Spock.
Yeah, about that. I wonder what happens if we just tell Kirk to move in it, will he? Ah! Press C to crouch. Oh well, I wondered what he'd do. I thought he was just going to run through and get melted. That would have been funny. Now he's standing in my way, Kirk. Go and move over there. Why I can't just use like the left mouse button to move him, I don't know. Because now he's standing in my way. Right, okay. And I seem to have automatically draw my gun now, which makes me think there's going to be some shooting. I don't know if there's any hidden collectibles or anything in this game, actually. Oh, I can heal. Some sort of magic healing terminal. So crouch is a toggle. It's either on or off. It's a little bit unusual for a PC game control setup.
Captain Kirk of the USS Enterprise, we have a shuttle ready for your evacuation.
While we appreciate your assistance, our captain and many of our top scientists are trapped in the transporter room on the other side of the station. We cannot simply abandon them.
Any suggestions, Mr. Spock?
If we were able to reach them, Mr. Scott may then be able to obtain a manual lock on our positions.
I'm afraid that may prove impossible. All interior passages are blocked.
Will the suits hold up out there?
With the solar shield failing, direct exposure would mean certain death.
Well, I hate certain death. Spock, let's try to avoid direct exposure.
Captain, I will offer whatever assistance I can over your communicator. But again, I fear that these efforts...
Yeah, we get it. Certain death. Any other words of advice?
Try to live long and prosper.
So, yeah, it does have that sort of tongue-in-cheek humour that we've had from the J.J. Abrams films. The character animation so far, particularly the lip sync, has been beyond terrible, I believe is the term. Okay, so proceed to the airlock. I thought that's where I was going. Maybe it's this way. Maybe it's this way. No, it's definitely the direction I was heading in. Are you going to come in, Kirk? Alright, I couldn't even see the control panel before. Now it's going to work. So it looks like the collision detection for interaction with consoles and terminals seems a little bit janky, as does your collision detection with your partner, who occasionally gets stuck in front of you and blocks where you're going. Do we have to put a suit on, or does it count as already having one on? Let's have a look. Oh, I've just hit Q. What have I done? I've just... Oh, it's a quick weapon swap. Okay. Going through. There we are. I suppose it's any door that has a blue ring. Okay. So I think I understand how the tricorder works. It's just remembering to hit the buttons.
We should engage mag boots now, sir.
I'm going to assume that button clenching means it's automatically done for us.
The collector is failing. We must avoid direct exposure.
That suit is gonna melt off your back. Get into cover, Spock.
This will be where
stay in cover until it regenerates.
Cover mechanic is going to be explained to us.
Go now.
And left shift to sprint. I'm clicking left shift. I'm clicking left shift. Nothing is happening. I can't get out of cover. What's cover? Left control? Yeah, left control. Excuse me.
Captain, stay in cover.
So you have to click control to come in and out of cover, and you have to click... Can I get in cover? Oh, that was close.
Take cover.
So you have to click control and click shift to sprint.
I am uncertain how much more exposure our suits can handle.
Now I'm hoping here the AI is sensible enough to be able to...
Anyway.
I believe it was yours, sir.
You see, he's not making any attempt to run, which is a bit stupid. And I'm having to tell him to get into cover. Now this could be problematic if the AI is going to be too stupid to keep in cover when he needs to. I really haven't got the time to micromanage him all the way along. So if he ends up getting killed because he's too stupid to get into cover... Although when I get to the door, he will teleport here. That's a bit of a strange way to open the door. Oh no, that makes sense. Still not the best of animations. Again, bit of a janky mechanic, and looks like we've got somewhere to heal. I mean, I think I'm at full health because it's not letting me interact with it. I don't know whether or not. Don't know whether it won't let me tell Kirk to interact with it. So I'm going to assume he is at full health also.
We seek whatever further assistance you can provide.
The only way forward is to shut down the core's rings. To do this, you will need to work together. One of you must scan the control console to stop the ring. This will allow the other person to engage the locking mechanism. Commander, I must warn you, a manual shutdown under these circumstances is highly risky.
Gotcha.
Well, this is certainly going to prove a point, isn't it? How well a co-op puzzle can work if you are doing it in single player and relying on the AI.
I believe I can scan it to stop the ring.
Okay, so I'm doing the scanning, am I? Fine. So, hold E to activate. Oh, no, wrong button. Hold E to activate.
Captain, now would be a good time to shoot the locking mechanism.
Now, is he going to do it on his own, or am I going to have to tell him to do it?
Captain. We must repeat the maneuver for the remaining rings.
Okay, so he's just going off and doing that on his own. Well, that's a good thing. At least I don't have to mess around and tell him what to do. So do I just run around here until I find consoles?
Going to work.
Can't actually see. There's the locking ring. Where's the... Oh, there's the console. Oh, just past each other. So F and E.
When the ring is stopped, that break is exposed.
Has he done it? It's like he's made
Another one down. Just one more ring to go.
As soon as just PC gamers have evolved a few more fingers on our left hands, this will be a lot easier.
This place is falling apart.
Have I got to get in cover? There we go. Ah, there's the other one. Get out of the way. So, hold F, target, hold E. not in cover.
Perhaps a
I
phaser
am.
blast would release the mechanism.
Right, I did manage to get it. I don't have a lot of health.
It's moving
Top
again.
right-hand corner there. Right, let's try that again. What am I doing? Hold F and hold E.
Captain, now would be a good time.
It's all down to you,
shoot the
Kirk.
lock mechanism. Captain, we
I
should
suppose
stay
he's
in cover
not.
until
He's
it regenerates.
trying to get in cover. But it looks like he's got it.
That worked. Let's keep moving.
Just going to wait for the fire blast again, because I don't fancy getting cooked. So, you've got control, which is the key you use to go in and out of cover, but it's also the key you use to dash and roll, which is a little bit strange. So, let's wait for the fire strike again. Alright, so I have health and a shield. Okay, so... hide again. I find it very strange having to tap a key to toggle sprinting on and off. That doesn't feel intuitive at all to me. But that could just be me.
We're through the core. Let's find that stranded crew.
Are we ever going to find a door that we don't have to pry open? That's it. Take your time, Jim. We are in. Now, I definitely don't have full health now. And I can heal, yeah. So you can only use these when you're not at full health. Fine. Did he just say we need to use our combined strength to open the door, and yet we both got through the door because it opened automatically? Okay, let's sprint forward.
I believe we may be able to open those vents. Perhaps our phasers will work.
Worth a shot.
Okay, so...
It works. Keep shooting out those vents.
Our attempt was successful.
Well, it's fairly easy to hit anyway.
Success, Captain.
Okay, so let's control and get back into cover again.
Get into cover.
Oh, stay in cover. Doesn't look like we can hit all the vents, only some of them.
Watch out!
Pretty much roll from cover to cover, but it doesn't automatically put you back in cover, which is strange. It looks like shooting some of the vents is a bad idea as well. So I'm going to see if I can shoot any more of these out. See, some of them are only low vents as well. Okay.
Get into cover.
Shoot out as many as I can in between being cooked by the sun.
Captain, we should stay
It's very
in
hard
cover
to aim
until
this.
it
It doesn't
regenerates.
necessarily aim at the crosshair all the time. Well, not the centre of the crosshair anyway. It does seem to be a little bit off. Yeah, you've only just realised that after the fifth one has blown up. Okay. So, clearly we've got to stick to the high ones. So, let's get behind this one. There's another one over there that we can shoot.
Captain, stay in cover.
That's going to be another high one. Any more here we can shoot out? Did we already get that one? Right, I'm going to run for the big one in the middle on the next gap. So tap control, tap shift, and get here.
Captain, we should stay in cover until it regenerates.
I wonder what happens if your AI-controlled partner dies, because if the AI is a bit derpy and you keep dying because of him,
Get into cover.
that would be a very strange thing. It'd be a very frustrating and annoying thing.
Quick, let's get him inside.
Captain, life support is now at 4% and failing. Transporter is still unable to obtain a reliable signal.
Let me worry about the transporter. Just get your people ready to beam out.
Well, I have to say, about half an hour in,
Speaking to my captain.
I'm not overly impressed.
Hi, Captain.
Ah, Captain. I don't believe we've met. I'm James Kirk, Captain of the USS Enterprise. And you are?
I am in need of assistance, Captain.
Tamar?
Mr. Spock, it is a relief to see you here.
Tamar, in what way can we assist you?
Our station has experienced a complete loss of power. Our transporter functions are also unreliable. There does not appear to be a safe way to beam out.
There's always a way. Scotty, think you can get a lock on me?
I'll try, sir.
I'm also wondering if the story varies any by playing the other character.
There, Captain?
That was a wake-up call, Mr. Scott. I need you to work a little faster.
On it, sir.
We should make our way to the transporter, Captain.
Oh, after you. So, how do you two know each other?
We were classmates back on Vulcan.
Just classmates?
I realize this may be difficult for you to understand, Captain, but on Vulcan, relationships between the sexes do not automatically imply an intimate past.
Another reason I'm glad I'm not a Vulcan.
I've got manual lock, Captain. Ready and waiting for transport.
So far, this has been exactly what I expected it to be. It looks half decent. I mean, the characters look like the people they're supposed to be. They're acted by the voice actors. The music, the sound effects, the backdrops, the lighting, it looks like it fits. It certainly makes it feel like you're part of that sort of J.J. Abrams Star Trek world. But as for the game itself, from what I've seen so far, it's very weak. There's certainly nothing special about it. It's a relatively bog standard, if not subpar, third-person shooter with a cover mechanic that has been done to death time and time again. So far, okay, we haven't really had a lot of gunplay, so I can't really comment on that, but it doesn't seem to be particularly easy to aim.
Run!
So, click the left shift to sprint.
I do not think this station is salvageable, Captain.
Oh, you think so?
So I'm clicking left shift now on and off, and I'm trying to hold it, and I'm trying to tap it, and it doesn't seem to be making any difference at all to the speed at which I'm running. Oh yeah, okay, fair enough. So if you let go of the key, the forward key, it does. Right, okay. Again, a bit strange. So far as well, I feel like I'm just playing a cutscene. I mean, this is coming from somebody that's recently just completed Tomb Raider, and Tomb Raider has a lot of cutscenes, but this just feels like it's one cutscene into the next with a bit of running in between. And that wasn't even the start of the game. Look at that. We've been playing now for nearly 30 minutes, and we have just hit the title screen. Another thing I've noticed as well is the frame rate. I mean, fair enough, I'm frapsing, so fraps automatically limits my frame rate to 30 frames a second anyway. And the graphics in this game aren't particularly good. You've seen the lack of options there are in the menu. And I'm getting frame rate drops of down to like 14 and 15 in some of the cutscenes. I mean, this is fine. Currently, this is bobbing around the 30 mark. It's now dipped to 27. Just dipped to 25 there. Now it's back into 30. So, yeah, very, very strange for a game that doesn't look graphically all that good to drop down. I mean, I'm running on a Core i7, 3.4 GHz, 12 gig of RAM, DDR3, 133 RAM.
Definitely better.
And I've got an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 570, 1.25 gig. So not the highest spec graphics card in the world, but this machine can handle PlanetSide 2 at very high settings. It can handle Tomb Raider at almost the top settings. Considering this game looks like it was made about 3 or 4 years ago, it should be able to run this without a problem at all.
That station was used to harness the energy from the binary stars. However, all of the station's primary controls were operated from a base located on a nearby planet.
What planet?
We are calling it New Vulcan.
So it is true.
And of course, as usual, we have the typical Kirk love interest character, which again is an alien because it has to be, you know, it's Kirk, that's the rules. Can we talk to her? No, we can't talk to her. She's just going to stand there and keep doing nice little pirouettes for us so we can see her pretty uniform. So let's carry on and see where we're supposed to be going. Over here somewhere. We shall just keep following the orange dot. So you can see I'm holding forwards and that's the speed I move. If I now tap left shift or hold left shift, nothing happens. So sprint seems to work only when it wants to work.
Spock, as you know, after the destruction of Vulcan,
the cutscene.
We have been searching for a suitable planet to rebuild our race. New Vulcan seemed perfect. However, A project of this magnitude would have taken generations to complete. In order to speed up this process, we created a device called the Helios machine.
Your station was to harness the energy from the binary stars to power the Helios machine located on New Vulcan.
Precisely. 2 days ago, and for some unknown reason, the power to our station was shut off. Without power, our station could not withstand the gravitational pull of the stars.
What moron would shut down the machine if they knew this would
And
happen?
then we get a little piece like that, which is clearly some pre-rendered FMV,
Never heard of him.
and it doesn't look particularly great either.
And a great mentor to myself and the Vulcan people.
Sorry?
Why would Sirach shut down power to your station? He must have been aware that doing so would be catastrophic for you and your crew.
Unfortunately, the Helios machine may have caused an anomaly.
An anomaly. This just keeps getting better. We need to get to the bridge.
I also like how nobody cares that you just can be a complete dick and get your tricorder out every 2 minutes for no reason at all. Okay, the bridge. Which way is that? Over there. So it doesn't actually tell me which way I'm going. Should go this way anyway. So, yeah, left shift at the moment, doing nothing for me. Can't crouch, roll, or anything. So, a lot of the control keys are very contextual. Let us get into the turbo lift. Are you getting in? Right.
Mr. Chekhov, tell me something.
It is highly unusual, sir, but I believe it's some kind of rip in the actual fabric of space.
Like
I mean, it's a fairly faithful
like that,
recreation of the new Enterprise bridge, which is nice, but...
Where does it lead?
There is no way to know for sure, Commander.
I believe that rip is the reason my father ordered the Helios machine to be shut down.
Then we need to talk to him right away.
And she doesn't talk like a Vulcan either.
Hi, Captain.
But,
no use, Captain. We lost
yeah, what can I say? It certainly looks and feels and sounds like Star Trek. There's no doubt about that. And if you're a big fan of the franchise and you don't mind clunky mechanics and you just want to play a game that is based on the film, then yeah, you probably will enjoy it. And as I said at the beginning of this, I'm a Star Trek fan, and I probably will play through this and I will complete it. But I think as far as games go, it's a fairly average game. I probably actually wouldn't even call it average, it's below average. And unfortunately, that is something that we've been getting far too much recently from a lot of games that are based on movie franchises. They tend to be fairly rushed. I admit that the developers are under deadlines and they only have a short amount of time, especially if the film script keeps changing. They have to keep changing the way the game works. But as I've already said, from what I understand of this game, it doesn't really follow the plot of the second movie. So I don't know why they had to have a short development cycle on it.
Great. Now there's 2 of you guys driving me nuts.
Where are we going? I appreciate that they may have had a short amount of time because they were aiming for a release date or a launch date around the same time as the movie, but it still seems like it was unnecessarily rushed.
My phaser, Mr. Scott?
I've put some wee modifications on it just like you asked. I've been working on some other options too. I've got phase cannons, photon disruptors, and wait till I show you these plasma rifles. Still working out a few things.
My phaser will do, Mr. Scott.
I guess you don't want to hear about the stasis grenades then. Nasty little buggers. But if you want your phaser, here's your phaser.
So at least we're finding out here that we're going to be getting some new weapons a bit further on in the game, which I guess is fairly standard. But I must admit, with the exception to the fact that this is third person, not first person, I feel like I'm just playing Elite Forces. And not that there was anything wrong with that. I mean, Elite Force and Elite Force 2 were both brilliant Star Trek games. They were some of the best ones that were made if you like the shooty genre.
Any further out, and I'd be back in Iowa, Mr. Scott.
Sorry, sir. Too much interference. I had to draw you outside.
Can you actually shoot birds things down? Yes, you can. That's interesting. So yeah.
Is that normal tomorrow?
Negative, Captain.
Now, can I change weapons? No, I've got another. Yes, I can. So Q allows me to change weapon, but I can't change weapon with the mouse wheel. Number keys. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got the number keys allow us to switch between weapons, and holding Q brings up this little quick select wheel down at the bottom, but the mouse wheel doesn't work. If that is not a direct console port, what else is there? What's this? Is this a sniper rifle? It very much is so. Okay, well, we'll carry on and see how far we go. We do have limited ammo, so let's switch back to our phaser, which should be unlimited. But yeah, just going back, I think I'd probably rather play Elite Force, actually. I mean, okay, yeah, the graphics weren't as good as this, but the gameplay-wise, this doesn't seem to have evolved. You know, we were playing games like this 10 years ago. There's nothing new here at all, really.
The highest security protocols have been enabled on this door.
Can we hack it?
Possibly, but you will have to work together to beat the encryption.
Oh, this sounds like fun. So I guess this is where the unique aspect of this game comes down. It is clearly designed to be a co-op experience all the way, and while you can play it single player, and the AI seems to be doing a relatively competent job of helping
Door's
out.
locked. We'll have to override.
The whole purpose of this game is to play it with somebody else.
Combined efforts to crack this system.
Well, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing, so okay. I understand here. So what was happening there, because obviously it doesn't come across on the video, is I had to use the WAS and D keys to move that crosshair into the centre of the circle, but at the same time it was constantly trying to drift away, so you have to constantly make minor adjustments to the keys to keep it in the circle, and your partner presumably has to do the same thing.
Tamar, can you operate all the systems from here?
Yes, I helped build and design... Captain, if you are implying that I should stay behind...
Tamar, we may need your technical assistance should things get...
unfriendly?
Unpredictable.
But my father...
When we find him, you'll be the first to know.
I will remain in constant contact.
Thank you.
What
Captain,
I like
shall we
here...
proceed?
Is this going to work, actually? I switched to my phaser. Oh, it wasn't doing it on before. So that was a bit of an odd bug. I actually switched to my phaser, and then when I aimed down sights, it was switching to the rifle, which was a bit of a strange thing. Is that something on the floor I could interact with? Who knows? So let's carry on down here. Before I end the video, I at least want to try and get into a bit where we can use the shooting mechanic.
Really? But you can't make that jump.
It is highly doubtful that either of us can cross unharmed.
Yeah, highly doubtful, but not impossible. What's that we've got over there? There we go. Hardly the most intricate puzzle in the world there. Can't get across until the bridge is fully formed. Fair enough. Right.
They are dead,
well,
Captain.
I've drew my gun, so... Looks like we may get to do a bit of shooting here after all. Going to assume that it's nothing down there, so it's probably going to be... Oh, I'm stuck on the scenery. Not that door, apparently. We shall carry on.
I did.
I didn't. What did everybody else see that I didn't see? That's not good.
That guy
okay,
was right
well,
in the head.
shooting
I understand
works.
that our lives were at risk, but we must endeavor not to use lethal force.
Agreed. We both need to use stun from this point on.
Ah, so this is it. Scan defeated enemies to unlock new research data and XP. So I've got to basically, every time I kill somebody, use the tricorder to scan them to get the XP.
Scans show numerous toxins in the adrenal glands and bloodstream.
Now, what have we got here? A little... just sort of research log. I understand that most games where you get to kill enemies have some sort of looting mechanic, but to have to hold one key and then target it with the mouse and then hold another key to loot it is a bit of a strange thing. Let's have a look at the upgrade menu, see what this is like. Obviously I haven't got enough XP to unlock anything at the moment as well. Various different settings for our phaser. I didn't actually find a way to switch between the modes on the phaser. We'll have to check that out. Certainly didn't see anything about it in the manual either. Use on your ally to overcharge their shields. I can do that with... So, okay, so you've got some support skills as well. It's about the only thing I can afford, so let's see if we can get that. Space to install. And you can also choose for your partner as well. I suppose that's just if you're playing single player, you can do the same thing. But it looks like everybody's got the same... I don't know, is it a shared XP pool? doesn't really make it that much sense, really, but I guess I'll find out as I go on. Didn't want to do that. I only hit escape once. Don't know why it did that. Let's use the turbo lift. Oh, got to hold the button. Bit clanky. So, I probably will go on and complete this game. And mainly for the story. I mean, I've said before on Let's Plays I've done, it tends to be story that drives me to carry on playing.
Individual.
And I do want to find out what's happened.
Out, but remember, stun only.
But I would not have it any other way.
Ah, there we go. So alt fire is stun. I see.
Who is there?
Oh, moving close and press E. Tap E. Vulcan nerve pinch. Nice. And I can mind meld as well.
Touch that guy?
A mind meld
See what happens
is our
here.
only option.
So that's Spock's kind of special ability.
Anything?
Interesting enough.
I have never encountered this before. His mind has been corrupted. Also, I now know the code to that door.
Enterprise, we have injured. Prepare to transport.
Aye, sir.
Just
Everything all right?
Yeah, just some Vulcan problems.
Just take a look at Spock's feet here. All I'm doing is moving the tricorder around. What exactly is going on there? Is it some sort of Vulcan dance that I'm unaware of? That is absolutely terrible. Awful animation. Really. Dear God. Okay. Let us carry on. I don't know why. I'm determined to do this. I've got the game. I am going to complete the game.
Several Vulcans behind this door, but their readings are erratic.
May I suggest
Tricorder view
setting our
detect
phasers
hostiles.
to stun?
Oh, even behind
After all,
walls.
they are Vulcans.
So now we can see through doors.
Please, stop me!
There's another one! Let's find
You got some skills there, Spock. Right, can I do anything with these guys? Can I loot them? No. So, the main reason I wanted to do this video today, and do it as a bit of a long video, because like I said, my original plan with this was just to do it as a Let's Play. But the problem that we tend to have with these games is we rush out and buy them because we are a fan of the particular franchise and go, oh brilliant, it's a Star Trek game, the new movie's come out, I've been to see the movie was great, and I'm going to go and buy the game. And you buy the game. I mean, this is $39.99, 40 British pounds, which I guess is about, I don't know, $60, something like that. And it's not particularly impressive. I mean, okay, yes, it is a licensed Star Trek game. It has the voice actors from the movie. The characters are recognisable. The music and sound effects are pretty faithful to the movie and the Star Trek world that was recreated by J.J. Abrams. And you know, you certainly feel like you are playing the role of one of these characters from the movie. But as far as the game goes, it's very, very weak. We've got a second-rate third-person shooter with a rather uninspired cover mechanic. The controls are very clanky. The options for the game are near non-existent. The graphics aren't particularly good, even though everyone looks like the people they're supposed to look like. The textures are very poorly done. The lighting's quite nice, and there are a few textures like the jackets and things on the uniforms that look okay, but the faces themselves are pretty poor. We've just discovered how terrible the animation is in some instances, and even on a relatively high-spec machine, this game that has relatively mediocre graphics has frame rate issues. So I can't say I'm surprised, because this tends to be what you get with movie tie-in games these days. However, I am a little bit disappointed by it. I was expecting more, particularly from Namco Bandai putting their label on it. But yeah, I'm not surprised. So, in summary for this, what I would say is, if you are a big Star Trek fan and you don't mind the fact that the game itself isn't particularly good, then by all means go and drop your money on it. You certainly do feel like you're part of the Star Trek universe, but if you are looking for a game that is particularly innovative or particularly enjoyable, you might want to hold off on it, or see if you can get a hold of a demo or something like that. I'm going to keep playing through. I will sort of finish the game up, and I'll record it as I go and do a Let's Play. So if any of you guys want to come back and sort of watch more gameplay going on in the future, you can do. And admittedly, I haven't really got into many shootouts at the moment. Maybe as it gets towards the end of the game and there's more shooting and more cover, it might be a bit of a more enjoyable experience. But please remember, I'm doing this as a first impressions, not as a review. I imagine there's a lot of people that are going out or want to go out and buy the game within the next few days who haven't actually seen any gameplay other than the trailers and the B-roll and the sort of carefully edited footage that the publishers have put out there for people to see. So the idea of this, the first sort of 40 minutes of gameplay, and it is actual gameplay from the game. I haven't edited anything out. Everything you've seen has just been a straight playthrough, absolutely blind. I haven't seen any of it myself before. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you guys have found this useful. If any of you were thinking of buying it, hopefully this will give you enough of a peek at the game to make up your decisions one way or another and not be disappointed with your purchase if you choose to make it. So I've been UnstableVoltage. Thank you for watching. This has been Star Trek, and yes, I will carry on, probably put out a couple of videos a week just playing through this game. So if you've enjoyed this and found it useful, please like, subscribe and share. It really helps me out with the channel, and I can keep producing videos like this, and I will see you next time.